Hi, this is Sai. Welcome to Sai Tech Logic channel.
And our goal is not enough.
In previous video, we have seen about Palo Alto initial configuration and deployment. In this video, we'll see about the license, then about creating the user accounts, and about logs. Okay, so to start with, go into device, and you have license here, licenses. Click on that. Mm, Now we'll be in this license management. Okay, presently I don't have any licenses like threat protection license or wildfire or pandb license. Okay, so I'm not able to see those here. Now let us go into administrators. We'll see how to create an user here. So here you can see admin, which is super user. I'm the current admin and it is having super user privileges. Can do anything in this Palo Alto by having super user role. Now let me add a user here, user 1 and password. Now you can see administrator type dynamic or role based. In dynamic by default you will have four here: super user read only, device administrator, and device administrator read only. Okay, I will create an account with super user read only. Okay, and click OK here. I will create one more account which is user 2. So here you can see we have one more option called role based. Okay, in role based by default we'll be having audit admin, crypto admin, security admin. I will tell you what are these roles. Okay, let me cancel it and go into admin roles. Here you can see audit admin, crypto admin, and security admin. Let us see what roles audit admin has been assigned. Click on it. Here you can see enable, and this symbol implies read only, and this red symbol implies disable. So this audit admin doesn't have access to dashboard and ACC, and these green color symbols you can see here. Here he's having access to monitor logs and these all features. Similarly, he's not having access to these particular features. Okay, he's having access to device but not setup and config audit administrators. He's only having access to log setting. As the name implies, audit admin. For auditing purpose they have created this role. So similarly we have two more roles here. So let me create a custom role here. Custom role for L1. Okay, for L1 SOC analyst. Let me he need to have access for monitor as well logs. So I'm not giving access to ACC. Okay, so I'm giving only access to logs for that SOC analyst. So remaining I'll be removing the role assignment to him. Policies, then objects, work, device. I'm giving access to save, commit, and tasks. Okay, so you can see here I've restricted the roles to this particular user, SOC analyst. Okay, and click OK. So now let us use this role in creation of a new user. Okay, go to administrators, add a new account, user 2, admin, and click here role based. Select our custom role which we have created here. Then click on OK. So you can see here Before that, we have to commit this, then the save changes will be saved here. So here you can see two options: commit all the changes, commit changes made by the admin. Okay, I'm giving commit changes by the admin. Click commit. Okay, the changes are saved. Now let me try to log in. So here you can see the dashboard as well as monitor tab. Since I gave the role assignment to the user, particularly to the logs, I mean to the monitor, you can see only the monitor tab here. Go into the monitor. Okay, you can see only the monitor. You are not able to see the objects as well as policies, device, network and all. Okay, so this is how you assign and roles to the user. So I will log out. Similarly, you can log in into user one and check he's having only read-only permissions. Okay, so this is all about creating administrative roles and administrators. Okay, you have an option called password profiles here. So I will show you how can we use this. Click add. So you can give the name of the profile here. Profile password. Require password change period as well as expiration, warning period, post expiration admin login count, post expiration grace period, how many days. Okay, so you can, okay, let me create a sample profile here. I've created a profile. Now I can use this profile while creating the user. So I'm using this profile here while creating the user. So here you can see password profile. There is an option. You can choose this password profile and create an user. Okay, these are we use password profiles here. Then you have an option as config audit. So this is basically to validate the changes or to see the changes made by other users or administrators. We can compare them. So if you see here, we have running configuration. Here you have candidate configuration. Here you have context. So running configuration is configuration which is currently the configuration which is running, and candidate configuration is which not been saved into running configuration. So let me show you how it works. Click on go. So here you can see I have made the changes. This is my candidate configuration file. So when I give commit, these changes will be now part of running configuration. So here see, previously we don't have any password profile. Now I have created a password profile. So these are the changes. And you can also compare, see this is my first commit. Okay, I can compare this latest commit, fifth commit with my first commit and go. So it will compare the commit here, you can see. So it will compare now the candidate, the fifth commit as well as the first commit, and it will display the what are the changes here. So as I added user 1 and user 2, you can see the changes. So this I have done in the fifth commit, and this is the first commit where there are no users. Okay, this is how you can use this config audit. Okay, in production environment it will be very useful to know the changes has been done by a particular user or changes done by you. Okay, and you can also compare them here. So this is all about config audit. Now let us see about commit log as well as config log. So now I am in admin account. Okay, so here I have an option as take log or remove log. Okay, so let me add an object. Let me go into objects and make some changes here. Go to address and add some object here. So here you can give name. Okay, here you can give the IP. Okay, here I gave name as IP underscore and the IP name. Here I gave the IP name subnet mask. Here I can give the tags here. Okay, and you can give description here if you want. Okay, I've added this. Now, so there are two logs here. One is commit log and one is config log. Config log means no one other than you can make the changes. Okay, unless you remove the log. Okay, in while you are in the production environment, while you are making an changes to the production box, so you don't want anyone simultaneously to make the changes. Okay, so the best practice is you will enable the config log. Okay, and then you will make the changes. After that you will be removing the log. So these, and you can give the comments and click OK. You can see admin and the type of lock is config lock, and close this. Now I will try to I have two users, right, which I have created. Go into device, administrators. Here you have, I have two users, right? So yes, otherwise I will log in into user 2 or do some changes. Otherwise I will create one more account here as test account. Okay, here it is super user, right? I will give him only device administrator. He can do some changes, right? So I'll give him as password as. Okay, now click OK. Now we have to commit the changes. You can always see the preview changes to see the changes made by you. So it will give you detailed in detail. So these are the new changes which you have added, which is test user. Now once I give commit, these changes will be now part of our running configuration file. Okay, so deleted you can see with this red color and modified with yellow, and added which are newly added with green. Let me close this, click commit. Now let me log in into the user, which is test user. The username is test and password is. Okay, let me log in. Now I will try to make some changes here. Let us see whether the config log is applied or not. And try to add one more object here. So now you can see the error saying that configuration is locked by admin, right? So since I have a configuration lock here, I mean a config lock here, so this particular user is not able to make any changes since configuration is locked by admin. Okay, now we'll try commit lock. So here we have one more option as commit lock, right? I will remove this lock and I will add commit lock. This is commit lock, add. So now the commit lock is added. Okay, now let us try to let us reload this now. Now let us go to this particular user and try to access. Now try to commit. Now click add and name of give some name here. Okay, add this object here. Now try to commit it. So commit made with the particular user and commit. So other administrators are holding device wide commit lock. Okay, so since this admin has configured the commit lock here, you are not able to change. Now I will remove the lock and we'll try whether he is able to commit or not. Close. Now try to commit. Yeah, now it's working, right? Now he's able to commit the changes. So this is how this works. Okay, when you want, you can add the log as commit or config. Then you have config, save changes. Okay, it will, which you are having. Okay, it will save the changes. So here, if you go into monitor, here you can see the logs. Here you can see traffic logs, threat logs. Threat logs includes like antivirus, anti-spyware, okay, and vulnerability protection. These three comes under threat logs. And you have URL filtering, wildfire, data filtering. You have all these logs, okay. So let me show you the security profiles, then you will be understanding. See, here you have security profiles, antivirus, anti-spyware, vulnerability protection, URL filtering, file blocking, wildfire analysis, data filtering, and DOS protection. Okay, so you can use these security profiles, okay, in your policies. Okay, I will show you how can you use that. Go into policies, add a security policy. Here in actions, you have an option called profile settings. Okay, here we have group or profiles. If you go into profile, you can see antivirus. Okay, you can create a new antivirus profile here. Click on antivirus. So you can see, you can configure this and you can give that profile here. Similarly, you have profile for anti-spyware, URL filtering, file blocking, but these all require license. Okay, here I don't have license, so I'm not able to do this. Okay, so here one other important point is, so you can configure these security profiles for the policy which is allowed. Okay, I mean the action should be allowed, then we can use the security profiles. So once the policy is allowed, it checks for these security profiles. If the policy is blocked, so there is no point of configuring security profiles. So that is the reason we configure security profiles for the policy which is allowed. Okay, and few more things which I have to tell you here is, so how does these security profiles gets updates? Okay, so this is one of the important question which will be asked in PCNSA, specifically the times which it receives the updates. Okay, if you take wildfire, for every 5 minutes. Okay, so for wildfire, for every 5 minutes it gets update from database, and to firewall to get updates from DB takes 1 minute. For every 1 minute it updates. Similarly for antivirus, daily it get updates. Okay, I mean 24 hours it takes to get update. Okay, and for firewall to from database to firewall it takes for every 1 hour it checks for the updates. Similarly, for application threads, weekly it gets updates for database, and for to firewall for every 30 minutes it gets the updates. So these are the few points which you have to remember in exam point of view. If you go into monitor, you can see the logs. Okay, here you have threat logs. These threat logs include antivirus, anti-spyware, and vulnerability protection logs. Okay, and you have separate URL filtering logs, and you have wildfire, and you have data filtering, and you have HIP match, then you have tunnel inspection logs. Okay, these are all the logs you will be having here. So now you can change the update time by going into the in dynamic updates. You'll be having an option to schedule an update for the particular license. Okay, so in this way you can change the update timings. So this is all about this video. If you like the video, please hit that like button. Thank you for watching.